the language has already offended me about him. Nyankole, how do I say it? Yeah? Chimoga is not the person who doesn't speak. That's me before I even speak. We've had people take center stage, and, but because I'm a communication person, that's why I'm talking too much. So when you're yourself, and then go ahead.
That we have different people that are slow learners and we have fast learners. And I believe we don't really consider the slow learners in the part of education or grasping concepts in class. And I believe we don't really include them in this, yeah, in this inclusion bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brittany. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bernard Wari. Youth Minister for Disability Affairs. I believe that inclusive society, everyone is included because there is potential for everyone,
Yes.
and people can do much better when their potential is discovered and addressed.
Potential is the word. Thank you so much.
My name is Kawepa Douglas. I'm from Makerere University, but I'm also a team leader. What I know about people who are challenged that
Yes.
most people I think don't really take serious is that not only affects the psychological impact of that individual, because it cuts across not just as a person, but it goes into the family, the relationships, all that.
Yes.
And even we don't have so much substantial research that has been done to how much this is, and that's one of the things I hope I can help address to humanity in that.
Thank you, Douglas, and thanks for coming early. Douglas deserves a special round of applause. He was here very early. Thank you. You can face the pen. Yes.
This is my name. I work with Makerere University Business School, Mbarara branch. I'm an administrator, at the same time an advocate for students with disability. I have come with my two students. I'm so happy. I don't know how I feel when I meet people of my category. I believe if I'm talking about how in the whole people don't really have a lot to say.
Yes.
It's not starting with us. We already somewhere starting to have
Thank you.
children with disability. Me, I myself, I came to realize that I'm someone until I got a job.
Wow.
Because me, I myself, where I grew, the family I grew from, they will say, we are educating you. So people don't say, we didn't take care of you, but you have no future.
That is stigma from the family.
Yes. Like even my own auntie would say, why are you wasting your money? After getting her, what will she do?
And here you are, an administrator.
I spent 4 years at home. Either people like your aunt works somewhere and says, Aunt connect me. People who are normal have no jobs. And
Oh, wow.
so we have adults.
We are live on EIT TV and a live stream. I wish we can share the link with people to follow up these comments. They're really going deep. And what Douglas has said, I may not remember now, but when I go back and look at the video, I will remember this. So let's share the link. Madam, please share in the group, and people share with the stakeholders. Your caption should be, did you know inclusivity matters? Watch the link. That is, we are attracting communication. Yes, please. Comments were. Now.
My name is Waniga. Yes. I believe disability is not taboo.
Thank you. That's a good one also. It resonates with the first speakers. What we've had all the way matters. Yes, please.
All protocol observed. A very good morning, everyone. My name is Atugavile Bentrick, and I'm doing computer science here too. So back to the back to the topic. Back to the topic of inclusivity. We do believe that these people with disabilities are also people like us. And if I'm talking about on inclusivity, basing on the culture context, basically when people, for example, when they are developing apps for people to use, most of the times they do not consider these people with disabilities. You find they are developing apps which favor the people without disability rather than favoring also the people with disabilities. Thank you.
And that's why you're in computer science, to speak for us. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. And my name is Nakati Agatha from Computer Science Year 2. And if I can talk about inclusivity, I as a person have a disability, but many don't know. And because of this, I've been left somewhere behind, like that. But me, I believe that a disabled person is also like a normal person, should be treated the way normal people are treated.
Thank you.
They should feel confident and feel at home.
Yes.
In the country.
What's your name again?
Nakati Agatha.
Now, when you look at Agatha, what do you think is her impairment? Okay. No, I don't want you to show it. What is her impairment when you see her? You can't know. Okay. Do you want to share it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I have this one. Now when you see this, and then like this one.
Okay. Okay. So when someone, there's what I would pick from her is someone will be talking to her, she's a beautiful girl, and then they go, oh, that expression already downs someone. Okay. So what we do always, the body language can't lie when it comes to that. How many of you have watched Vanessa on TikTok? We shall talk about Vanessa. Remind me. Vanessa is one person who tells, she's a little person. People have abused her on social media. Social media is not for the weak. But Vanessa has persisted. And from her, I got to learn the world can never define you. How many of you have seen Pastor, this lady with a beautiful house? What do you watch on TikTok, Vanag? This lady with a beautiful Pastor, she starts with Praise God, Beingana. Just Google Pastor Beingana. She has a beautiful house. I'm using the elevator to go to the living room. Praise God. Da, 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 da. You look at her house and you're like, am I in Uganda? Are we supposed to be here with such people? And then someone just insulted her. You're even ugly. She's like, I'm in the image of God. So don't let other people's rubbish get onto you. It's not easy. It takes time. We shall go back to Vanessa. And I'll ask, sorry, can I pick your name again? Annette. Annette's experience and what people say. Guys, when you watch others speak, you'll get motivated. Allow me skip her and then we go to the next people. Yes. Good morning.
My name is Mr. Valencia. I do computer science here too. For me, when you go to disability, people think that disability is easy, but disability is easy.
Yes. We've just seen it with Agatha. Thank you. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. This is Nabiamba Susan, Computer Science here to Mbarara here. Then, when we talk about disability inclusion, I think, me myself, I think disability inclusion is all about rights, not. I think it is okay. It is not all. It is not all about feeling sorry.
Yes.
Someone. I think it is all about dignity and treating someone fairly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The word dignity stands out for me. Why? You may disrespect someone with impairment and you find them at the international stage. How will you look and you've seen them there? Okay? How many of us find people who are impaired and want to help them? We're all running for lectures. And then your colleague is going to the same venue. But because you think you have to be there ahead of them, who are you? Have you heard of the statement that we are all of us candidates of being impaired? We are all candidates, right? We are walking here very well in heels and everything. And they're like, oh, you remember the MC? God forbid, let me not even try it. Okay, yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Claire Mutama, a student of Bachelor's of Science in Education, Chemistry Math. When we talk about disability inclusion, for me, to my own understanding, it is a human rights issue. Now, you discover that if we build spaces that are encouraging the disabled people, they are going to move around with dignity. But if we construct systems whereby these people are not included at all, you realize that we are letting them down. Now, take a scenario whereby they advertise for jobs at Mbarara University, maybe depending on the race or gender, and they're like, we want only males. People will not tolerate it. We want only maybe a certain tribe. People will not tolerate. Why is it that we don't build spaces whereby if we are basing on race, gender, then we should also include the people that are disabled? Yeah, so I feel like when we include them, they also feel like they are part of the other people.
Thank you. Madam Stella, that's a take home. You are a council member. Get some adverts, at least put the clause of someone impaired is encouraged to apply. Even when they are, let them face the competition, but they are encouraged to apply. It will show inclusivity in our institution, but also I'm not saying that they should. Yes, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
My name is Annette. I normally do electrical engineering in my year 2
Yes.
here at MUST. So when I talk about inclusiveness of the disabled, I'll narrow it down to friendship, because it all comes back to your circle, the people that you live with, the people that are within your main reach, how they actually take you. Do they support you? Do they ask for if you need their support, or they actually do it assumingly? These people are not supposed to do it by asking you. They shouldn't ask you, hey, can I help you get that water? They should actually get it for you, because they know the situation that you're going through. So once your circle alone makes you feel like you are wanted, and they're doing these things for you to make you feel inclusive, go out there and you actually become inclusive. But once your circle is narrowing it down to a point that they make you feel like you're actually disabled, you need them all the time, out there you will become belittled, because you find that you're actually going to a major society, yet you cannot fit into the smaller one. Thank you.
Thank you. I love the comments that are coming through. Please give her a round of applause. Friendship defines it all. Don't ask me. When you're my friend, you know what I need. When you're my friend, you know what I want. Okay? Yes. There you go.
Morning, colleagues. Of course, many have talked. I would sum it by saying, of course, others are coming up, but for me, I would summarize it by saying, now that a few of us know that we have this issue, we should encourage people with the impairment to feel free amidst us, feel free to challenge whoever you feel wants to belittle you, but also to advocate on their behalf. We should keep up with the spirit of doing so. Creating awareness above all.
Yes.
And such awareness can only be created when we have such engagements.
Thank you. What I would pick from Madam Helen is when you show up, you're always remembered. I'm meeting you the second time. Can you just stand up? What do you remember that she talked about? She does computer science. The first time she spoke, I thought she's about to cry. Right now, she has spoken and she's different. By the time we finish here, she'll have networked. Ladies and gentlemen, show up. Opportunity is not, people who are not here will not appreciate this. You can take a seat. Because you keep showing up, opportunity exposes itself towards you. Are we together? So, like Helen has spoken, while we were meeting the East African community minister, I remember that she talked about gender inclusivity and persons with impairment. Asking the minister, why? Have you seen this lady who asked the president, Mr. President, wait, I'm still explaining. When you show up, you're given the platform. You may not be seen, but once you start speaking, the world will appreciate you. So my take home on this from Helene's point is show up, guys. When you show up, the opportunity comes. When you show up, people will appreciate us. When you show up, people will know that disability is actually a mindset. Are we together? Yes, please.
Thank you so much. To me,
Who are you?
my name is Tumkunde Nabon. I'm a staff and I've been of CDEX office. And when I talk of inclusion, inclusivity, it should be accompanied by accessibility. Some institutions or organizations, they advocate for inclusion, but they are not accessible.
Thank
for
you.
example, in terms of those who use wheelchairs, the facilities which are designed for the special needs.
Nonya ebigambo byengamba keywords olyayogedde ku employment, friendship, families, building systems. Yes. Thank you so much. And this brings me, we have Makere, Chambogo, we have Bushenyi, we have all these other communities. Are our policies implemented, or they are just on the shelf? Or do we have them? We might even be here, we don't have them. Yes? When he speaks of an accommodative environment, we've come all the way here. Is everyone comfortable with the ramp? Yes? Can we have all that? Okay, there's a rule also for construction. The engineers here can say that once a building does not have more than 4 floors, you don't put an elevator. But when you have a community like this, do we have the automobiles that you can ride the people up here, or they have to go through what we all go through? The way I came up panting, is it the same way Douglas is going to come? Is it the same way Anne or Agatha or Kaswiti is coming up? Point of concern. If we have leaders here, we can talk about it. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kaswit Florence. Me, when I talk about inclusivity, nowadays I think I stop talking, I do actions.
That's the friendship bit we've talked about.
Because I came to us, I've been following up, but yes, on construction, as they have talked about, they have tried to put it, where
Ramps.
Yes. What about the deaf person? A deaf person can walk, and you can't realize he's deaf. But we do have activities here at MAST, and some are streamlined online. How do they follow up? So I have started a campaign. All activities, all official activities are going to be having the same language interpreter. Even Madam Muganese, the last week, workshop for finalists, I made sure I signed all of it alone.
Thank you.
So, and another thing on that, I have been running with mostly the incoming guild candidates. I have told them, if you can't sign your campaigns, and we are targeting for votes, you have left the deaf people. I hope we have students here who are deaf. Yes, we are talking about inclusivity. We have tried. But for you who are coming to campaigns, don't you want a vote from those people? So I have been fighting with them. If you want my vote, first we are going to translate even the debate, the first debate for class president, I signed it alone. I'm going to make sure they are included in all activities from us. We shouldn't leave them behind. And I think the bad thing, someone asks you, how many are they? If you say 1, 2, they say, those ones can stay. So I feel hurt about that. Even if it's one person,
Yes.
let us move with them on the same line. Don't
Yes.
say, one, let them be.
Okay.
Let us move. So
Thank
I
you.
feel hurt about that.
Thank you for that, and thank you for offering yourself. Yes, Brian.
Thank you, Madam Angela. My name is Sandy Brian, and I want to thank Madam Angela first and foremost. She developed the disability policies of this institution.
Thank you.
Actually, you can give her flowers. Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
the person behind that.
I want roses. Why are you giving me mums?
Give her flowers.
Thank
I
you.
read about it and I saw she was actually the person who developed those policies.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much. Secondly, about inclusion, we already need to know that, like Kaswit has said and her, some disabilities are invisible and others are visible. So, deafness, epilepsy, those are some of the disabilities that are invisible. Mental, you meet someone, but the mind is not working upright. So that one is also an invisible disability. Secondly, I want to say that inclusion or disability inclusion is a fundamental human right, and it is also protected by the UN framework and the Constitution of Uganda 1995. So it's protected, so it's a human right. Everyone should be catered for. As I'm finishing, as we talked about briefly about sign language, you see, we all need to be equipped at least with basic communication in sign language. Whether you are a medical doctor, you are in business, anywhere, you will meet deaf persons there. If you are in business, you have a deaf person as your customer or a client. If you are in engineering, you meet a deaf person who also wants to construct something. So how is that communication going to happen? As a medical doctor, deaf people also have confidential. There's some information they don't want to share, where they don't need a third party, like an interpreter. And now you are forced to bring an interpreter to talk about your private issues. So it is no longer a private issue. So I want to thank Kaswit for the gathering, together with Madame Stella, Madame Maureen. I'm sure this one actually can start. Since it's a volunteership thing, let's have someone there for almost every function for visibility, like she's saying. I want to thank you so much and to wish you a nice workshop today.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. Protocol observed. My name is Musiyoga. Speak about the topic. Inclusion is not about charity, whereby you're just helping people.
Yes.
Like you're donating, what, but it's all about promoting equality. So you find that in most of employment opportunities or areas where we are promoting employment, that if you can do
I didn't take your
promotion,
photo.
like hiring,
I wanted to take your photo.
people
No,
who
take
work,
it. It's okay. We shall do it at the back.
will be good to promote inclusion. So that's what I have.
Thank you. It comes back to sympathy, don't, but show compassion. Yes, please.
Sorry, I'm repeating the same point. Inclusion is not about sympathy, it's about equity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
My name is Avasa Irene. I'm doing mechanical and industrial engineering year 2. And inclusion is not feeling sorry for someone. It's about creating systems for everyone. It has to be fair. It has to be a fair chance for everyone to participate in each and every activity that others who are not actually disabled can do. And also inclusion benefits everyone, not just people with disabilities. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I came in late. My name is Clarice Mbambo. I am the Vice Girl President. So about today's topic, inclusion is basically making all of us feel safe and welcomed wherever we go. So it is all of our responsibility to make people feel like they are a part of us and not sidelined.
So you see how she's
whatever space
turning?
you're in,
Take her that
whatever
picture.
career
Focus
you're
on her
chasing,
alone.
whatever endeavor you're doing, I hope you make sure that you don't sideline other people, but make them feel like they are a part of you, right? Because that helps them grow, and you know, you can actually be a part of their story when they are we're talking about people that actually make them feel in place. So yeah, that's all I can say.
No, it's okay. We are heading here next. We're coming here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is not a day of sympathy, but talking about the inclusiveness and celebration about the people with disability. My name is Akanyo Arthur, a year 2 student doing bachelor's of information. Welcome also as PWDs, welcome from voting at 2021 elections. That's involved in the elections. But you participated, and you see now we should talk about the article of Uganda, the Constitution of Uganda 1995, that highlights about Article 35 and 21, the rights of inclusiveness about PWDs. But my take is, someone said, you seek space. There is disability grant where there is disability grant where they are saying you can make a group of 5 people as PWDs, then you get that money. So, and I want to thank MAST and the administration for recognizing the population, the little population we have of PWDs. Because you find that maybe like this side, that we have elevators to take these people. For me, I came to know about disability when I was in UNSA. So when I reached, I saw a congregation. They were men. So I was like, how do these people gather? And then, funny part, the candidate I had pressed me to PWDs. These people need attention. But I think now the role should be, within a university, how can we identify them and bring them on board? Yes, there is a minister of PWDs and they have their GRC, but then how can we empower them? Because they are weak gender. Thank you, and I think by here we should be committed at least to have a stone contributed to their development, not just a mere discussion. Thank you.
A round of applause to the next person.
So good morning to you all. So by name is Dennis Mshabe, and I'm the chairperson for the students with disabilities at MAST. Yes, so I welcome you all to this event where we will talk about the STEM disability inclusion, a collective responsibility for all. So I will simply bring more light about what a disability is according to the National Disability Act as of 2020. A disability, according to the National Act, is that impairment which limits one's abilities to perform on an equal basis as the others who are not disabled. So if you're having a condition, let it be physical, cognitive, developmental, and if that condition limits your ability to perform or do some societal roles just like everybody else, that's when it is termed as a disability. But not all impairments or conditions are what? Are disabilities, if they don't limit your potential to act just like everybody else. Yes, then this group, we all know that everyone can join, can get a disability at any point in life. So that's why we always have to advocate for inclusion, because at some point you may find that you don't have maybe much interest in the ramps, but maybe an accident will happen and you lose a body part, amputees, and you find that now you are among the what? The people with disabilities. So that's why inclusion is a very, very big thing to put to light. And we discuss about it, knowing that at any point, everybody else can be disabled. Yes, and finally, I will conclude saying that in most cases, disability stems from the barriers, not the impairment itself. Like according to the social model, you realize that once barriers are removed, potential is what? Is unlocked. So disability, you will find it stemming more from the barriers that are there, not the impairment. For instance, I have a physical disability. Yes, and at the same time, Besides being the president for disability, for the students with disabilities at MAST, I'm as well the captain for the MAST karate. So yes, you know that sport, it really needs some people who are like fit. Yeah, despite my physical disability, I went into it and I trained along with others. Like, I didn't find any barriers when I was joining to begin the training. So I trained just like everybody else. And guess what? The last time I represented the university in the inter-university competitions, I came back with 2 gold medals. So, yes. So assuming that maybe at first when I was joining, maybe there was a barrier that would prevent me from training, I wouldn't have got those. So realize that when I didn't find a barrier, potential was unlocked. Yes, so that's why inclusion becomes an important part, that when we unlock and remove all these barriers, potential is unlocked and these people with disabilities can actually do better. Yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. Did the gold medal come with money?
Good morning, friends. Yeah, my name is Ahuri La Miracle, and I do a Bachelor of Science with Education, Year 1, my town campus. As a teacher, I really mind about inclusivity in the sector of education. As a teacher trainee, sorry. But still, I'm a teacher, right? In the making. So, yes, I believe, I actually want to thank most of the education organizations, for example, UNEB. For some of us, we're given some opportunities. For example, they give you some extra time and you have the time to do it. However, I've come to university and I've not seen much of that. So I believe we need to really advocate for more of that. For example, in our tests, in our end of semester, I really haven't seen much of the inclusivity part in it. They just take everyone, generally. They don't actually mind about asking who could be having a difficulty. And I believe someone might be outside there and maybe he or she feels out of place to speak out. Yet I believe speaking out is. So we need to advocate through organizations like the MAST PWD Association, where we bring everyone on board. And lastly, when she mentioned about some money from the gold medal, I remembered something. There is a grant for the people with disability that are on government. They receive an extra, yeah, from the government. But I also think about others that are not on government. Aren't they disabled? Don't they deserve this money? Don't they need this help? So I believe we also need to lobby in somehow from the government. We really need to support everyone. Yes, because actually most of the people with this who are disabled might not get a chance to be on government. But if you say we are giving only this extra cash to the people on government, you have left out a very big community outside there of disabled people that really need this help. So I believe also that could help us a lot and a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Stella, we are sending you again for support that I may not be government sponsored, but when I come and register in the associations of students with impairment at MAST, what should motivate me to bring my colleague to also mention their problems? And when they mention their problems, we are able to know who to plan for as a university, okay? So we are also encouraging the students to come out and speak. He's speaking about not being given extra time. I want you to comment about that because at least from what I know, in the Faculty of Medicine, there's a student who is always given 1 hour extra, courtesy of you. You reported that to the dean and they know. So why don't people like Miracle get extra time? Who is responsible? Where is the gap? Okay? This is all feedback and we thank you for sharing openly and with integrity. Thank you so much.
Good morning to us all. My name is John Baptist Labeja. I do software engineering and I'm in my 3rd year here at Chiomoro. One thing that I know people are not aware of outside there, those without impairments, is that they think if someone is disabled, then they're kind of like unhealthy. But according to WHO, that's World Health Organization, they say that if someone is a deaf person, then that does not mean that he or she is unhealthy Or maybe if someone is blind, that doesn't mean that he or she is unhealthy. The same to the dwarfs and the rest. This takes me to say that the biggest challenge is not disability, but the issue here is indifferences. There are a lot of indifferences between those who are disabled and those who are not, in that they underlook at us. But then we all know that disabled people are actually experts in their own needs. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Mwewesa Ronald, a guild representative for people with disabilities at Bishop Stewart University. I'm happy to meet you, even though we came late. When I go on the topic, inclusiveness, like on that grant where the government is funding people with disabilities, me myself, I tried to approach that offices, but the thing failed. And when I tried to move in some offices, even there was no help. So they neglect us everywhere. Even some students, like in campuses, in schools, they don't show up. They fear themselves showing up, like in public, and that one is also not a solution. I submit.
Thank you. Please pass on the microphone.
Protocol observed. I dignify the dignity of whoever's managed to make it to this function. I go by Ambrose Rahangalinda, student from Makerere University Business School, the Mbarara Regional Campus. And I'm here with my minister over there and my administrator concerning this. And probably I will start from Miracle's word of that he talked about. So the people living with disabilities are not really being considerate when it comes to them, when it comes to them in need of some extra time during their final exams. Me myself, I faced the same challenge last semester because I knew the exact problem that I had. I needed some extra time because, yeah, just like he said, during our lower levels of education, before we approach to this, some extra time was considerable to us. But now when it came to the university policy, I talked to the campus chief, and then he was like, we may not be able to help you out because we don't know how exactly we can do that. And then I'm someone who really understands the protocol, how it works. I had to find evidence or proof for them, and then recommendations from a medical faculty at MUST in town, from the doctor concerned about the vision and sorts of that. I took the evidence to them and the recommendations to them, and then he was like, yes, thank you for this, and then we shall hope to do the best that we can. But when time came, it was all vanity. There was nothing they did about that. And then I looked at that, maybe not saying that they never considered it, but or maybe the campus chief did all he could, or maybe the administrators that were invigilating the papers never did that. But that is what I wanted to talk about that. But now coming to my point, I say, not all people living with disabilities want to be fixed. Because many of us in the communities that we come from, that happens to be a way of our identification. Whereby, and when it comes to that community, it will be often called social model disability, you get. And now the fact that someone might be, because me, I don't believe that someone is disabled. We just live with the disability. And now the fact that we just live with it, and there is no way we may not demand for it to be fixed, but rather to be included or involved in what exactly we have our expertise in. So I conclude with my conclusion. I draw it to we that have managed to make it here today, that we might all be challenged in many various ways on the way how we do our daily activities. But yes, we have to keep it in mind that what we are cannot be fixed at the moment. But then the people that we live with should also understand that what we are cannot be fixed, because me personally, I'm just someone who is very much proud of being who I am. Because for being who I am, that's the only way I've managed actually to step into this place. This is not the first time for me to attend such a function, and actually talking about the same, maybe the similar theme, because at first I was still at the main campus in town with Mr. Bernard, because he invited me. I had to represent my minister on that. We still talked about the same thing. But now here, finally, I'm back again. So this is the chances that I've always emerged, and I've always made sure that by all means, I have to show up.
You got the point of showing up. Please, let's
You
give
get.
him a round of applause. Thank you.
And it is a lot that I have learned from this. And it is a lot that I'm to contribute, because yeah, it happened for me to have a little sister just like me. Just so I know what exactly she needs. I know how exactly she must be treated. Though she's she's too young, she hasn't experienced the hardships that me as a person I experienced. Because too much of the criticisms are all over the places, but you have to know your purpose. And then when the opportunity comes in for you, you just stand up and get it for yourself, because nobody can do that for yourself unless you do that for yourself. And with all, I really welcome you once again. Thank you.
Good morning. A lot has been said. Mutejech David, doing information technology year 1. So mine is like an advice. Don't feel sorry for yourself, and whatever you find to do, make sure you be the best. Do your best with the ability you have. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please give him a round of applause.
Good
Please tell
morning.
me you're not Mushabe's brother. Am I the only one seeing that? Please, Mushabe, stand up. We're doing DNA here. Okay, just to give you a moment of light.
All right, thank you. Yes, good morning, dear friends. My name is Kagwa Hamza from Chambergo University in year 1, doing a Bachelor of Science with Education, Biology, Physical Education. Talking about the disability inclusion, I'll take it back to the equality and non-discrimination. You know, all individuals must be treated fairly regardless of the sensory, intellectual, physical or mental challenges, and all opportunities must be accessible to all people where they can find them. And then fair treatment is not the same as identical treatment. Take an example of someone who has an eye impairment sitting for an exam with people who are good with their eyes. So that such a person needs an extra time to answer. He also a paper. So that is what we call equity, and equity is what creates real equality. I submit. Thank you.
That's a good one. Equality and equity.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Naluma Priscilla Semakula, a student at Chambogo University, Bushenyi Learning Center. I'm very happy to be here because it is my first time to be here. About the topic, I would say disability is not inability. So As people with disability, we have the same aspirations like the rest who are not having any other problem. So we need to be respected, not to be pitied. So the other thing is about, I would just add my voice on the person who talked about showing up. Yes, the first time I went to Bushen campus, we had a minister. Okay, that post is combined in very many things. There is culture, gender, and also disability. But our minister is not a person with disability. So that person did not know what, like, the problems we were facing. So when I went there, I faced challenges with inclusion because I couldn't see on the board, and no one knew that. I tried to talk to some people, but then they couldn't understand the whatever I was going through. Fortunately, I talked to the administrators and they put my complaint into consideration. But I think showing up is the very good thing, because if at all I'd not, left my comfort zone to go and complain to the administrators, no one could know that I was facing some challenges, and like they would hinder me from achieving my academic goals. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arnold Katwesje, an administrator at Chambogo University, Bushenyi campus. I want to thank Mbarara University for organizing this seminar. I think it will be enriching to most of us, and I urge that we extend it to other institutions as well. On the issue of inclusiveness, I want to say that many of us have very good ideas, but do you know that some of us, we fear to come out and at least showcase them? So I urge all of you to always find someone that you confide in. Please come share with them. If you have a challenge, they will really listen to you. I submit.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bonne Gumoshawe. I'm a student at Bishop Stewart University, and I'm pursuing Bachelor of Laws. I'm in my second year. I've come with my minister, Mwewesa Robert is there. First of all, I want to first take this opportunity to thank MAS for organizing this. I'm so humbled, and I really feel at home when I meet people of my category. I feel very fine. I can see some faces are not familiar with me, because me, I gotten a chance. I went at Makerere University for assessment of people with disabilities. When I finished senior 6, I was expecting to get that scholarship, but maybe God didn't appreciate that, and I didn't get that opportunity. But I thank God. I gained a pride for loan scheme, and by God's grace, I got that opportunity. So even though I'm doing but I'm on loan scheme, you people, and they use it to say loan scheme is for science students, but I want to assure you, when you're a student with disability, you're allowed to apply for loan scheme on whichever course of your choice. what I can talk about disability inclusion, like it's not just about allowing people with disabilities to be present, but it's about removing barriers and creating environments where they can strive, contribute, and be respected. Here I mean, my first time to reach at Bishop Stewart University, because I got a chance representing people with disabilities on BSU Law Society. But my first time to reach at BSU Faculty of Law, every person was looking at me. I felt so sad. It was like I'm in a long press, but I thank God I later catch up with others. So, and I'm trying to create that, to breaking that gap between other students with people with disabilities at law faculty. They can appreciate me. I have done that, and I don't think there is a person who doesn't know me at Faculty of Law BScu. Yes, for I'm that person who likes presenting myself to others despite of the way I am, but for me I feel so good. I used to hate myself during my time when I was in primary, secondary. I used to hate myself, but I later sat down and appreciated the way I am, because the time I went at in Makerere University for that thing, I saw people with disabilities. I was like, Bonnie, I'm okay. I'm okay. And from there, I started loving myself as a person with disability. So I beg submit.
Protocols observed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Arianishka Kajinda David is my name, and by God's grace, I'm also part. I'm doing DBA too. I happen to be the minister for the disability affairs. Also call me MC Breather Uganda to social media channels. Yes, you can. Any platform that you know, you'll find me there. You people, how is the first quarter of 2026 so far? Wanji, that how is the first quarter of year 2026?
We're surviving.
Surviving.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's as if some are not. Because I see most of you, it's as if over there you bring us more tea. You people might be hungry. Because I see you are not happy at all. I need some smiles on your face, people. Anyway, talking on action, talk about accessibility, the environment, the inclusive policy, people, the community. They should be accessible should be accessible. and are excluding us with the you as a person. That's a question to you. People with disabilities. There is a saying we have in Nudipo. Who knows Nudipo? Yeah, I always attend the meetings and the conferences of Nudipo representing the FPAD, Western region. That is the umbrella. They always tell us that who is at least somewhere who should come out for those in the villages, the villages who are totally neglected. Some of them chances education and that their own parents. So the person who is educated, who is disabled, we should go there to the villages, look for those people, you bring them out. Are we together? So it's my very first time to be here to Must, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you. I wish to submit. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your contributions are wow. Do you know what you've just done? Please first clap for yourselves. I tell you what you've done. Today, whether council or the president has allowed me to crown you, you've made the vice chancellor's remarks. What you've said, it's what the vice chancellor would have said. But we are going to take them back. We are going to rush through the program, ladies and gentlemen. We shall have the Dean of Students give us the remarks to officially open. Allow me to welcome Madam Maureen Kahima. Please come and address us. And after, I will invite our minister here for the Guild, Bernard Owar, to give us the biography of the next speaker. Madam Maureen, please come. As she's coming, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't tell you to clap. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Now the one for campusers. Happy birthday, dear Dean. Happy birthday, dear Deanie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deanie. Okay.
Angela, I'll get you arrested for that. It's my birthday, and I thank God for the many years He has given me and being here and healthy. Good morning. Is it still morning? Yes, we are just on the brink of midday. Good morning, everyone. You're very welcome to MUST. Those of you who are not of the MUST community, you're very welcome. And even the MUST community, the students and everybody, we welcome you to this very, very important engagement. I bring apologies from the Dean of Students. He got an abrupt engagement and he traveled last evening. So he needed to be in some space today. So he can't be here. And also from the VC, like Angela has said, you have actually made her remarks, but she's with us, probably online, or she will get to watch what we are engaging in. So I'm here representing the Dean of Students. My name is Maureen Kahima Tuonjirwe. I'm the Deputy Dean of Students. Now, I just want to share a little bit my experience with students with disability. I've been mainly the contact person for students, especially on government, those who would come on government because we would want to know how many has government given us, what is the nature of disability, and how best can we help them. And when Stella came to the department, now we broadened and get everyone to register with us, with Stella, so that we are able to support them. And in that regard, I want to answer the young man doing education, that even those who are not on government, we may not financially support them, but we do actually support them, depending on the support they need. Okay? So if you need any support, please don't hesitate. It may not be financial, it may not be any material, but it will be some support. And we shall get it. We shall endeavor that you get that kind of support. So I've learned, and before I continue, I want to congratulate all of you for being here and for making it this far, especially those of us who are challenged in some way or another. We've all seen this sad story on TV of this Makerere University student who was robbed, who he's blind, and somebody gets into his room, robs his money, robs his computer. And I kept asking myself, how can people be so unkind? We want to thank the generous people who have given him a lease by replacing what he lost. And I pray that the same thief won't come back and rob him, because he's out there and nobody can identify him or her, whoever it is. So we've had our experiences. Before we go to this policy and after we go to the policy, I'll go to the policy later. I may not talk so much about it. I think the minister will probably do. We had our experiences. We've had a number of students getting mentally challenged, mentally ill. Right now, I got a phone call from one of them, and he said, yes, I know I've been unwell, but now I'm okay. Can I come back to study? And it's a thin line, because we don't know if he's really ready to resume his studies, because his mental disability has been going on for quite a long time. So I just said, you need to calm down and we have an engagement and really see how best we can support you. We've had a student who had a hearing impairment, and that time we were not even signing. So you can imagine how she studied. But I want to assure you she was the best student in her graduating class. She got the convocation award as the best student in her class. So it goes on to prove that disability is not inability. I remember her roommates, that time they didn't want her to leave. She eventually left the hostel because we were accommodating her at our university hostel. But these people are saying, this girl is brilliant. We want to remain her friend so that she can help us discuss. For her, she could talk, but she could not hear properly. So if you were slow in your communication, she would actually read your lips and follow. So we supported her in a very small way to see how best, but she emerged the best student. Then later we got a student. When the admissions person told me, we are getting a student who is in a wheelchair. I said, oh my God. I can assure you I was scared because we didn't have we still don't have the facilities to make life comfortable for for such a person. It's only recent that we have improved our hostels at town campus with maybe a special toilet for a person with a disability, but accessibility is still a challenge. So I remember when they told me, I said, no, I need the contact of the guardian of this person or the parent. So I talked to the mother. We talked to the mother and we are like, we know, yes, your son loves must, but we are thinking must is too far. This was a student from Kampala. And the mother was in agreement that, yeah, I also see this. He may not manage because it's very far from home. And we said, okay. And the mother, she didn't understand when he had gone what she was talking about, the assessment at Makerere. The mother thought he had gotten an admission in Makerere. So we were like, okay, now he's going to Makerere. A few days later, this young man calls me. And he said, you know what, madam, Must is my university of choice. I'm not going to Makerere, and I have not been admitted at Makerere. So I'm actually coming. And we said, okay. So I called the custodian and I told him, we have this. We need space for this person. And if he's coming with a helper, we need space for that helper. And we need to support the roommate so that they can stay together. We don't want to bring boom and he also gets challenged. So fortunately, the roommate was a student, we had just started the program of physiotherapy. So he said, now, the young man, we have this, we want to give you this person as your roommate. And I want to tell you that when she talked about friendship, those people stayed together until they both graduated for 4 years, because this guy was doing pharmacy. But the amazing part about this young man, he had friends. You'd meet this person pushing him on his wheelchair. You'd meet him chatting with this person. So his life was made easy at most because he had the people to support him and the staff to support him. We were there to support him. The custodian was his father, messenger. He would run errands for this guy. And this guy graduated. And we were like, wow. For me, that was the biggest achievement. It was the biggest achievement in that office of the Dean of Students because we had done it. Even when we graduated, it was like all of us were graduating with him. So we thanked God for him and that we were able to support him. But also, he was somebody who was supportable, very friendly, very accepting. He didn't really force us to make facilities because it was not possible. The resources were not there, but we thank God because of that experience. We now have better facilities. If we get a person with disability, we know they have their own special place where they can be helped or help themselves or do whatever they may want to do. So we are getting there. Then another time we also got a student who couldn't see, a blind student. Now this one was an old man who had come amidst difficulties because we don't have scholarships like maybe government for bachelors. We don't have scholarships for masters. So he comes and we're like, now how do we help this man? Of course, being a man, he has a family, so money got tight. So eventually we said, now how do we support this guy? We said, you know what, you just apply and see if you can get a waiver. So of course the process was long and twisted, and because there was that provision is not there, probably clearly stated in our policy or even in the policies of under the academic registrar's office. So those are things that as we went along, we've learned that there are certain things we really need to include in our policies and see how best we can implement them. So thankfully, this gentleman has also graduated with a little support he got from a university. Through our interaction with this group of people, they said, okay, let's see how we can support this man. And he graduated. So he graduated, and we thank God for that. As a university, we have a policy. It's due for review, but at least we have a policy, and we've been implementing activities slowly by slowly. And recently we had an accessibility audit. How are our facilities accessible? And we are not doing very well. But that's a starting point. We know now we know where are the urgent areas, where can we start? Where can we put more focus so that a person with disability can easily access all facilities? And of course, you know, like at the town campus, we are located in two spaces and someone has to cross the road. So there it becomes quite challenging. Even with a zebra crossing, like, okay, how patient will these people be, the people driving? Will they be patient to allow these people to move? But we are hoping that we shall get there. But of course, that is the challenge. So if you are a student at the upper campus and you have to sleep down at the lower campus, it becomes a challenge of someone. Or you have to attend lectures because the lecture space may not change. And we also thank God for the online facilities that we encourage students also to engage online and be able to attend lectures. Like somebody was saying, you have to go and make your demand. Can the online, because we are having a challenge, students don't want to go online. And so lecturers are like, okay, but can we make it work so that those ones who are unable to reach in time can also should not miss out on their lectures. So I've learned, for me personally, it has been a learning journey through engaging with different students. It's been a journey of learning, and then you unlearn, and then you relearn again. So it has been a whole series. I've been in the Dean of Students department since 2012. Okay, so all that time I've interacted with students, especially those on government. And then along the way, I've learned one thing. And as I learn, I want to recognize a few people who have helped me learn. The first person is Angela. Angela, where is Angela? She has gone out. Angela has been here, leading us through. Angela worked on this policy that we have. And actually, at one point, Angela was convinced that she needs to go and study, to go to Chamboga and study that qualification in special needs, because she's really passionate about people with disabilities. Very, very passionate. So she started the process of us having a policy as a university and started the implementation process, okay, of the same policy. But later she moved on to another office, and now she's the communications officer of the university, but she still advocates. That's why she's here, because of that passion. Then I want to recognize Stella. Stella is one person who will tell you that it can be done. And once she says she wants to do this, she will do it. She has made the implementation of this policy move faster than we thought it was possible. So Stella is very, very key in the implementation of this policy. These small things we are doing, the accessibility audit, we recently had an assessment of all students to assess the level of support they need. We may not give that support, but at least it's a beginning. It's a big, big step in the right direction to know. And I remember during that assessment, some student, I don't know if he has been operated, was scheduled to go and have his eyes worked on. He didn't know that he had such a big challenge with his eyes. So we thank you, Stella, for that huge, huge gap that you've helped us as an institution to bridge. I also want to recognize Helen. Helen was there. I don't know where she has gone. Helen is recently, he's a staff of MAST for a long time, but recently in our department as gender and equity officer. And she has made the implementation of most of our policies very easy because now we have a staff to help us coordinate many of these activities. She works hand in hand with Stella, she works with me, she works with everybody to make sure that policies are implemented and reports are made in time. So Helen, wherever you are, we want to thank you. I want to thank one other person. He's not a staff of MAST, but he's like one of us now, Brian. Brian started with says. So we thank when Brian one time we were interacting in a forum like this one, and he said, you know, we shouldn't assume that when you see someone with a need, you really need to run and help. You need to know. You need to ask, do they need your assistance? And for me, that was a big take home at that time. And even when I meet somebody, I'm like, do you need help? I don't just assume, oh, can I help you and grab the bag? No, because I don't know what their need is. I need to first know what help do you need, or do you need help anyway? Okay, so for me, that was a big lesson that we shouldn't assume. So we are implementing a policy, and the challenges are many, and it's not a one size fit all. Each person has an individual challenge. So we encourage students when they are here to always register and tell us, what support do you need? It could be like, I think somebody who mentioned it could be a chair, maybe a chair is too high, or maybe you need a lower stool or a lower chair, or you need time, and that one we've always done. If we are informed, we inform your faculty, we inform the office of the academic registrar, and if you need extra time during a test, during an exam, that one should be given. Nobody should fail to complete their exam because they were not given extra time. As long as we know, we shall communicate. That is the easiest thing we can do to support you. Helen has walked in. She's the person I was talking about. Yeah, and as I conclude, I want once again to welcome you to Mbarara University, and also say we are all here to learn. Through the many comments that were given, I was jotting down some points. And maybe we shall invite some of you again, because this our disability policy is due for review. Next year, actually, we shall be reviewing it. And we shall invite some of you to give us ideas. What can we include? What can we put? What is lacking in our policy, so that we can make it better and more inclusive? And because now we are for equity, as we include everybody, as we promote equity, We need each other. We are here to learn from one another. We are here to encourage one another. And I wish you all the best. I may not be here throughout because of other engagements, but I'll surely be online. I'll follow online, and I wish you all the best. Succeed we must for God and my country. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I'm sorry for coming. I forgot to recognize the institutions which have joined us. Mind Life Uganda. Where are you located? Nakawa. Oh, you traveled all the way from Kampala to be with us. Wow. Thank you so much, Douglas, for being here with us. We want to recognize Chambogo University, Bushenyi Campus, Western Campus. We want to recognize Bishop Stewart University. We want to recognize Makerere University Business School. And we want to recognize, is Ankwele Western University here already? Any institution I've left out? And of course, I want to recognize MUST. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our dear Dean of Students, Madame Maureen. Allow me to re-thank her with a hand of applause. Furthermore, we see that Madame Maureen has really represented the Office of the Dean of Students and as well as the Office of the Vice Chancellor. So we are fit to say that we are fine here and we feel at home. Let's be comfortable since the Office of the Dean of Students and the Office of the Vice Chancellor have really, So we furthermore go to introduce and we are going to introduce and request the Minister of Disability Affairs, Mr. Bernard Orr, to come and tell us furthermore about different guest speakers that we have around so that we can proceed with the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is this thing on? Thank you so much, Right Honorable Minister Brittany. As the Deputy Dean earlier said, we are here to learn. I hope you guys already had your notebooks ready from the very first beginning, or from the very beginning of the sessions. Because now we are getting deeper and deeper into the engagement. And before us, rather, we are going to have our guest speaker, who is Mr. Douglas Kawekwa. He traveled all the way from Kampala to come and join us in this engagement. The man that's going to speak to you has over a decade's worth or experience in community work. Like most of you who are studying now, and earlier when you were giving your experiences, sharing things, and you talked about how you got into campus and you're doing these programs. This man also has gone to school. And he actually has very many books. When I was going through his bio earlier, I was impressed. He did a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. And so he's a structural engineer. And even with that engineering background, he went ahead to do a Master of Science in Counseling Psychology from Makerere. And he went ahead to do trauma and mental health from the United Kingdom. From that, he went to the USA to do perinatal mental health care. I mean, look at that. Yeah, so he's also the Uganda Mental Health Youth Representative for Uganda on the East and Central and South African Health Community. And he's also the founder of Mind Life Limited. Yeah, so please join hands together to welcome our guest speaker. Yes. Thank you. Yes. How are we going to project it? I think we're going to project it from that side. Or bring the piece to.
I guess this will work. Can put it in the hair so that they can't see it, isn't it? Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Great. I'm happy to be here. This is also my first time to be here. As I said, my name is Kawekwa Douglas. I'm a practicing structure engineer, but I'm also doing a lot of work in mental health for the last 10 years. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have, but I'm going to squeeze it so that I know we're already due time. Good guys. Yeah. So today we are going to basically talk about challenging stigma and fostering inclusion, the theme of our engagement today. Yeah, so the presentation will be there, I'll be following in together. So this is about me, like the presented. So Mind Life is a mental health and teletherapy organization. And basically what we do is how do we break stigma about mental health, but also enabling people to get support. Like the insights that have been shared in here, it's the work actually we're looking in. However, we look so much on using community-based approach to mental health. With the experience I've had in the West and back here in Africa, because like they shared, I represent the young people to the East Central and Southern African community. So I've engaged with the young people from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Eswatini. Our approach to supporting each other is more of community. And this is one of the things that bring about the belonging and being together. So with that approach, we've done work with government, we've done some pilots with the Uganda Prison Service, we've done works in the workplace and in schools, as well as in the universities like Makerere, Cavendish, KIU, and now we're also here. Hopefully, we're looking forward. Oh, Chambogo also, not just Chambogo, Chambogo. Yes. So how we do our work is basically one, expert in mind life. Here we're looking at how do we build help-seeking behavior. And through that, we do what we call psychoeducation, mental health. Getting people to understand, oh, I have a problem, I need a challenge, I need to talk to someone. And then from there, who do you talk to? Where are we going to engage with mind life? You basically, now from the awareness, you have your account, you can, by the way, but this is what you're looking in, because all this is already happening in the West. In Uganda, we're actually pioneering, not pioneering, it has happened, but then it stopped. We are re-engineering. So play. I just wanted to play for you guys this video. Okay. Okay, there was this video, but I think we shall share it later on because of time. So it's basically one of the work we've done at Mackay University to show you how we are supporting the whole student community about the same model. Because as students, even me who's doing masters, we go through academic pressure, relationships, you go through family challenges, you go even through identity. It's not about whether you're doing masters or, as long as you're a student, the environment creates different avenues. Now, I'm looking at this community, us as people who are physically challenged, that different, like the sharing that you've actually shared. All this brings about the aspect. Then, when I'm going through this, where do I get the support? Who do I talk to? So that's what we're actually doing in there. So today we are here basically, one, to talk openly about mental health and disability inclusion, but also to understand how stigma affects students' well-being. And that, I believe, will help us to create practical avenues on how we can actually be able to support ourselves, but also the other people who are out there. Because I know, like, one of the points I shared about the friendships, right? The community, like I said, community is very important as us as Africans. So the goals of this is basically, like I said, to understand the relationship between disability inclusion and mental health, acknowledge the impact of stigma, recognize the indicators of emotional distress, engage in supportive responses, and dedicate yourself to initiatives that can foster an inclusive campus. So we're looking at, when I was looking at doing this presentation, I was looking at how do I support you to become aware of yourself, into supporting yourself, but also being able to support another person. Because that's where the power comes in. When you can support yourself, when you can identify, like, I'm having these challenges, I know how to get support, and I have someone who doesn't know, because now you're here, and you have a multi effect of so many people are actually with you, then you can actually be able to do what? Support them. So basically, this is all about going to be an inclusive and a very comforting environment. That's what is about the rules. So I'm hoping that you're going to share, because it's going to be very interactive. Hope you're going to share and respect. Like I've already seen this. We're already very comfortable with each other. We are shared very honestly. So I'm hoping this will be very helpful. So one of the things I know, like Annette, how do students? What would make you what would make you belong? You at MOOBS. This is just an icebreaker. Just 3 insights. What could make you belong at school, in a university? Of course, you've shared all these challenges we're going through, but I would just like to get some insights. What could make you belong when you're at school? Accessibility. Could you break that down a bit more?
For example, if you're a student,
Yes.
Person with disability,
Yes.
you're allowed to go anywhere. If you want to meet the principal, let's say, no, for you, no. Let someone else go and talk with you, face someone else. No, but they allow you to access to those people, to get those people and out your challenge.
Yes.
Then me, I can talk on behalf of workmates.
Okay.
When they say like we have community engagement team building, they will say, now children, if we take Annette to the team building or we are going somewhere out, when you're going somewhere out, like, well, why should I be involved in it? What will she do?
Yes.
But if whatever they do, they involve you.
Yeah.
They help you to belong in that area. That one can break the ice and to be comfortable and to do what you are supposed to do. Because when you look at disability, it's not about being disabled, but the environment you live in. Does the environment you're living in allow you to do what you're supposed to do?
Okay, great. So being treated as any other person, irrespective of how you are, right? Yes, that's very good. Any other person would like to share? Any other 1 or 2 people would like to share? Out of the audience. Anyone? You would want to?
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Nakate, and if I can talk about accessibility, is if a disabled person is not able to do something, hopefully if I can do it, I can provide help. But don't be like, he's going somewhere or he's doing something, be like, should do it yourself. I don't bother. So we should have that mind of helping, as they were saying, dignity, and don't feel sorry for someone, because that's not how he or she wanted to be. He found him or her like that. So I believe everyone needs help, most especially these people. They always need help with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So not to avoid this pitiful behavior. That's what I'm hearing from you saying. Thank you so much. So I believe all of us have heard of the word mental health, right? Have we all heard about mental health? Mental health is anything that affects how you think, how you behave, and how you feel. Because your thoughts, your emotions influence what you do. That's the cycle of mental health. So mental health is just as important as physical health, right? We know when you get malaria, you know where to run to the physician. What if, like the experiences that you've been sharing here, you're going through that, where do you talk to? Where do you go? Who do you talk to? What do you do even, right? Because like our sister here was sharing about the law, when she went into the school of law and they were looking at her different. And no one could actually really be attentive, like, okay, how is she feeling? What can I do in this moment, right? So mental health is as important as physical health, and it affects all those different avenues, how you think, how you behave, and how you feel. The challenge of mental health challenges does not mean weakness. I used to think that the person dies when their heart stops beating. But today we've seen so much, people are already dead, but they're moving around the whole streets. I think someone mentioned that here earlier on. When your mind stops working, that's when you're dead. You've heard of brain dead and being in coma. Brain dead, basically, you don't even have the neurons, let's call them the muscles, in your mind active there. So you're dead. That's why they can remove your heart and they'll give you another heart and you come back alive. So physical death and mental death are really different, but mental death is very bad. So this is why I'm here to kind of, like I said, to help you understand yourself, and then you can support yourself and you can support other people there. So without understanding the connection, disability is not the same as mental illness. Like I love the theme we have on our shirts. Where's your shirt? Minister, we gave you a shirt. So disability is a mindset, right? So this is the essence of it. Because people will see you, and then they'll think you can't do this, you can't do this, like what you've been sharing. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Last year, a bit at Mackay University, also, these are the same discussion we're actually having. And that's why I was asking you about the safeguarding guidance and all that, because for them, that's how they're looking at addressing it. So they have in the office, you can actually report that kind of harassment, right? So disability is a mindset, and that's what we're talking about here, that the stigma, the exclusion, the stress, and the barriers that can affect mental well-being. Because if you do not understand this, then you're going to be caught about where do I get support, who do I talk to, right? And as human beings, we all go through these experiences. As long as you're alive, if you don't have life stress, you're going to have to be dead. But if you are longer alive, you're going to have this continuum of, oh, today I'm feeling so bad, today I'm feeling so good, today I'm in the middle, today I don't know. That is the essence of life. So now mental health is about helping you to manage how to handle this. Yeah, so inclusion supports both dignity and mental wellness, as what you've been sharing on, feeling like you can actually relate. So the things that affect student mental well-being, these are some of the reasons. How many of us here are in a relationship? Okay, for the students. For the students. Nakato, you're smiling so well. Are you in a relationship or not? Are you in a relationship? Okay, it's fine. Maybe it's confidential. What I was trying to bring about is all these problems. I deliberately didn't put romantic relationships because I wanted to get your thoughts. How are you dealing with your relationships? Your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your husband, your wives? Are you in relationships? Or you fear to have relationships because your self-esteem is not there? And how does that affect how you're behaving and how you're relating? Mr. President, Chairman, are you in a relationship? No. You just put it on hold, eh? Because you look so good. Me, I saw you, I was like, wow. Why not? You see, the way you're breathing, just fine.
They have just broken up.
Oh, you're going through the transition. Yes. It's very hard, right? How we handle our relationships, like we always think like men don't go through depression because of relationships, and these are some of the things that come in. But romantic relationships is one of the things that actually affecting so many students in universities. Okay, not just in universities, even in secondary schools, because we've done work also in secondary schools. But all these affect your well-being at campus. Now, even more in the vis-a-vis the aspect that maybe I have all this thinking. How does it affect me not telling this girl that I love, I would like to be with them, right? So that goes back into the aspect, stigma. So stigma comes in so many ways. There's self-stigma, institutional stigma, and also the community or structured stigma, in the sense that if I don't see myself worth having a relationship with this girl or this boy because of how I see myself or what the community says, that's self-stigma. You're limiting yourself. The low word we could say you're limiting yourself. You're judging yourself negatively. Structured stigma or institutional stigma, some of the things like the Dean was talking about here, accessibility, the ramps, all these things, right? They come in there, but in most cases, they can actually be like, I remember one of the artists was talking about the jobs. Can we put job adverts and put provisions for people with disabilities to apply? That would increase awareness, it would increase the morale of application, right? So that is institutional structural stigma. If the institution is not providing or encouraging people of this caliber to actually apply, so they're not really taking care of them, right? So the internal, and then the social stigma, which is what we've been talking about here. Most of this is, you know this more than me, you've seen it, you're living it, you've handled it over the years. The good examples like we've talked about, like the School of Law sister here shared, and all of you. So you've seen this firsthand and you know that, right? So what does this do? Like you've shared, it silences people, it displays, it delays hope seeking. And this is what I'm looking in, because personally, my philosophy of mental health is that if we help you to understand and build this hope seeking behavior, you can actually be able to empower yourself more. Counseling is basically, a counselor helps you to get direction, to work on the direction of your life. A counselor doesn't give you what to do. So even if you come into a session, they're going to ask you, they're going to come and check in with you with all these things, right? So very important is stigma obstructs support and undermines dignity. And these are some of the examples, like I'm not going to go through this, but you've shared what we are talking in. These are all the different aspects that have happened in the examples you've shared, which was very exclusive. So I'm not going to go into that. So, but what does stigma lead into? One of the things like loneliness, this is what I was asking about relationships, because you, like the girls you're looking so beautiful, but do boys approach you? Or the boys, you're looking so great, why don't you approach the girl? Not necessarily like anyone, right? Why does that happen? Is it because of these problems here, right? Is it because of the low self-esteem, the loneliness, the fear and the silence, the withdrawal from activities, the anxiety and the stress, and you're holding it there, you don't have anyone to talk to, the loss of confidence, the academic disengagement, and the delayed access to support? So all this is what stigma can lead, and this is what we're looking at. How do we transform that in our different spheres? So because of time, I don't know if we should go into these scenarios, but one of the things we could give just one. I have 3 scenarios. I just want to get one insight. So the first one is a student with a disability is excluded from a group assignment because others assume they will slow them down. I'm wondering how would, let's answer, anyone would like someone to answer the last question. How would you respond to this? Because this is now we're building the copying. Has anyone experienced this before? This scenario, could you show scenario 1? A student with a disability is excluded from a group assignment because others assume they will slow down the group. So how would you respond to that on a scenario? Boss, could you help me show that, the scenario? So just look at how would you handle this, right? What would an inclusive response look like? Let's assume you're going through this. How would you handle this? How would you respond to that? Yes, we have someone. Where's the microphone? I saw someone. The microphone. Yeah, she's there.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Atugabile Medrin, and basing on the scenario given, it's very true that some students with impairments are excluded from our group works while doing the work.
Yeah.
But to me, how I could respond to this, we basically know sometimes there is a time where you find you're either doing the group work like you're given a time to do the work and then submit. So what I would do, me as a student, I think it's all about doing the work, and then later I take a step ahead to explain to the person with a disability, in case he or she exists in the group. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just sorry, have you experienced this? Or have you seen someone go through this?
Yes.
And that's what they did?
Yes.
It worked?
Yes.
Okay, this will come in later, but did you have any engagement with the instructor of that course? Did they know about this happening?
Not really.
Even up to now, not?
Not
Okay.
that it is here at campus, but it was in the lower level.
Okay, okay. All right. Thank you so much. That's a good one. How many of us think about that? Any feedback to that? Anything anyone would think? I have a second scenario. You had something? Yes, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think to me, I go against what she has said, because you're not going to do work, then after explain to someone. I think that is not inclusivity. I think to include this person with disability, I think we have to bring that person as we are doing the work. We do the slow learning steps, maybe if at all the person is a slow learner, and we go through all the steps of the group work, make the group work as well as the person is involved, and then after we hand in the work, rather than not doing the work, then after explain later. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Just
Thank you so much, Brittany. I actually had something similar in mind. Yeah, how of doing it, or maybe the experience she has had, I feel it's not so inclusive in this scenario. And also there is this thing, for example, I do design thinking a lot. Yeah, I'm also an entrepreneur. So yeah, actually, like in this scenario, you would actually be surprised that the challenge or the answer to the to the challenge there, this person actually has the answer. You may be surprised if you actually involved them or included them, that what you're looking for all along, they had the solution, but you're going through the longer route when they had the shortcut. Yeah, so for me, for this scenario, what I would do, I would involve this person. And also there's this thing with different strengths and different weaknesses. Maybe you would break this problem into smaller bits, or into different, maybe different subjects. Let me say, handle this discipline of it, handle this segment of it, and then everyone actually gets to do something based on their strengths, based on their weaknesses. For example, may find this person, maybe let me give a clear example. In our former council as the Mbarara University PW Association, our former chairperson was very good at graphic design, right? He was an albino, and he had sight, had some issues with his sight. But when it came to graphic design, he was really good. Yeah, so now imagine maybe you had this maybe challenge, maybe perhaps like designing a poster like that. And then you're all struggling, you don't know what to do, and maybe someone else could maybe brainstorm, maybe this is what you want on the poster. Then someone else brainstorms the color or the hues that maybe we should use. Maybe this is the brand. Someone else designs, or maybe brainstorms something else, and then someone else like him would design that thing. The final product. So whereas actually everyone has a small bit to play, and if you actually involve them, you realize how easy the challenge would have been solved.
Effectively and efficiently.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. There's someone at the back. Thank you for your insights so far. Yes.
Okay, for me, I agree with her, only that I feel like she has missed out a certain step. When Madame Maureen was speaking, she said that even if someone is having a disability, you realize that you're not supposed to just help them out of the blue. In most cases, you need to first ask them. For example, if you are in a group discussion, maybe the lecturer has given you some work, and then maybe they want handwritten. You discover that a person who is having something like dysgraphia may not be able to write the notes. So what you have to do is talk to that person, ask them whether there is anything they will be able to contribute. And you realize that maybe this person will be able to tell you maybe what you should write, because for them, they are not able to do it. So my emphasis is on first asking them where they need help. Then after that, after realizing he cannot write, then you can do the work after agreeing with him or her that let us write, but be present. That person should be present as you do the work. Then after there, you explain to them.
Okay. Thank you so much. I love the fact that how the modalities of how this can actually be addressed are coming up. So let me go to the second scenario. One of the things, this is all informing what we talked about earlier, the awareness, the breaking down into the kind of experiences going, whether they're internal, that's personal, social, or structural, right? So the second scenario is a student wants counseling support, but a friend says, don't go there. People will think you are mad. Let's start. How many of us have had counseling here? Among you, how many of us have ever gone to a counselor for a counseling session? Let's say, because we have a counselor here. Has any of us ever gone for counseling? You ever, eh? Okay, so some of you, that's good. But of course, definitely, there are different models of counseling, right? The step care, where you talk to someone, especially the girls are good to this. The boys always keep quiet, and they keep quiet, like Mr. Chairman has saying, heartbreak. So now, if one of our colleagues is being told, don't go for counseling because people will think you're mad, what beliefs are driving this stigma? I would love to hear, apart from for you who've had counseling, for those who haven't had counseling, why haven't you gone for counseling of different things you've gone through? Anyone would share? Yes.
Okay, for me, I'm going to speak on behalf of my friend. It is out of experience.
Yes.
There is my friend who was going through some stress, and then she was like, "Do we have counselors at must something like that?" Then there is a friend within the same circle who was telling him or her that for me, I went for counseling services and they did not help me. So this person, I don't know whether he or she went to the, I don't know whether she went to the right counselor, but now this person who was here with us told him that, man, you just die with your problem because you know what? You will not get the help. So you realize that this person was not able to reach out to the right person because someone told them they were not helped.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's very powerful. Someone had that. So someone had a bad experience, and then they kind of predisposed it to someone who actually needed support, and they didn't get help.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. I believe one of the reasons why me as myself and very many people haven't gone to these counselors is because people believe in close friends more than these counselors.
Yeah.
That someone is not close to the counselor and feels very comfortable to share the problem to a closest friend. Actually, I remember a scenario where this girl was very sick. She was very sick, and it was more related to stress and, you know, mental health, some disability. So, but in that chaos of being sick, she told us, call for me someone. And literally this person that we were calling was the boyfriend. And when we called the boyfriend, they talked to each other, and she became very she actually started smiling. So she felt very comfortable with this boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I believe it would be better for her. You see, she talked to him and she became fine. She became relieved. So I believe people don't go to these counselors because they believe they have people they are more connected to that can help them out than moving to someone who maybe you're not aware of, you don't know much of the person and all that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very powerful. Mr. Something.
All right, thank you. I had something similar to what you just shared.
Yeah.
But before I go to that, there is this other point I had in mind. The different cultures or the different prevailing crazes, I would say craze that happens around us. For example, there's this current trend on TikTok, something like, as a man, like, why do you do such things? Most of you must be familiar with it. So I will find like such things, they will tell you, as a man, maybe why do you eat food, should be eating, I don't know. As a man, why do you seek therapy? You should be, so now such things, you find that people, you get sell through, but now because something has so many clicks, has many reposts, many likes, you will perhaps think it's maybe the best thing or maybe actually the right thing when it's actually not. Yeah, so that is one of the reasons why maybe people find it harder to actually seek therapy, to seek help even when they need it. Then the other thing, close to what he said, people feel, or they find themselves more relatable with people who are their tribe mates, or for the people within their niche, people they say maybe classmates, or maybe like if it's guys, maybe that cocoon that you have, you can easily relate with these people. And that may be maybe one clear experience I have with this. We have our counselor, and actually our dean of students. She moved out. She's a counselor. Yeah, she's a former university counselor. And then you would find that there were those days when people hardly go to her office. But if she's available, the services are actually available, people don't go there. Why? Because they don't feel relatable, or with maybe it's not, they don't really find that comfort, maybe being in that presence. But then like last semester we launched the Mbarara University Medical Research, rather Mental Health Club. I told you about it earlier. And we have all these sessions that we hold weekly, every Friday. And it's really doing some good work. People are being helped. We have sessions every time and people come in, they share their challenges. we do therapy. Everyone's like a psychotherapist to the other, and you talk and you share experiences, and people live when they're much better. Why? Because they're all students. They face similar challenges. They face breakups like what you shared. People don't have meals, so like it's the same experience that people can now easily relate.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that is one way we are coping with that. Yeah, thank you.
Firstly, let's thank Mr. Chairman for the Mental Health Club at Must. That's some good work. Yeah. Yesterday night I was watching a video. As a man, why do you have a pet cat? You should have a pet lion. So, pet alligator. And I was like, yeah, social media. So I get how you're coming, what you're meaning. And these are very factual insights you guys are sharing, right? Because there's that bit of connection in counseling. You need to have that therapeutic relationship. So young people are finding it hard to go to the elder. And in cases where like most institutions, I'm at Mackay University right now. Mackay University has over 40,000 students and 3 counselors. And at some point of the university where most students don't go. And these are the structural barriers that are in there. Why should I move from my hostel out of campus and come and talk to this person, right? So these are cross-cutting issues in all universities in the country. So it's not just here, but like you shared, it's about building that normalcy and that relationship, and then we'll be able to support each other. And before I go to the next slide, to add about that, why young people, what you're doing is very impactful is because the first model of step care to mental health, that is the awareness, self-help, then talk to someone, the peer support, which is what you're doing. And that will lead into these aspects of now I need to talk to a counselor. So you're in the right move, like I already told you, that's good. So the third scenario is about a lecturer addresses the interpreter, assistant, or companion instead of speaking directly to the student. I don't know if some of you have experienced this. Why is this harmful? What message does it send? And what should respectful engagement look like? So for this third scenario, let's look at the first question. Why is it bad for a lecturer to talk to the interpreter, to assistant, and not to the actual student? Any experiences you guys have? Annette, you said you're a staff at MOBS, right? Okay, maybe for you may be different. What would be, why is it harmful for a lecturer to talk to the interpreter, not the actual student?
And with disability?
Yes. Because most people would not talk to me, they will talk to the interpreter.
Okay.
So for you as a staff, yes.
Me, as a person with disability, if I can't tell you, if you have no patience, to some us who with disability, we want to be like, how we say, you want to be like someone to feel pity for you. Even if someone is advising you, for you take it the other way around, because I'm disabled, that's why this person is telling me to do ABC. And if you find that lecturer doesn't understand, has no patience to say, like, this person I have to handle Chirunji this way so that we can be in good terms. Yes. So if you know you have no patience, maybe you talk to another person, this person can out your information to the student with disability.
Thank you so much. I would love to hear a student version of that. As if whether you've gone through it or what you think of what you've experienced, how do you feel? Why is it harmful for maybe okay, not even this lecturer or any other person, instructor, instead of addressing you, and they address your interpreter or your assistant or your helper? Anyone who has experienced that and would like to share, if that is okay? Anyone? Okay. So why it's harmful, like you mentioned, is because you're not really treating me like, okay, I have the capacity to get your message, to actually respond back, treating me as a human being, right? Because you want me to, when you speak to me right now, you respond to me back immediately. So that's pretty awesome. So how do you recognize distress without judging, right? With all that you've shared in there, how are we able to support ourselves and help others without judging? One of the things is, as students, we are in classes, like some of the scenarios we've been discussing. When you see your friends withdrawing from classes, missing classes, where now student mood changes, this may be, just put in the context of, because of a student who's normally used to being like this, and then out of the blue, they're behaving differently, right? So these are some of the things you can actually use to identify your fellow student who's actually going through a challenge. They may not come and speak to you and they tell you like, I want to kill myself. I want to do this. But when you see these things, like one withdrawal from others, missing classes, sudden mood changes, hopelessness, irritability or anger, abako where let's say it that way, difficulty in concentrating, overwhelming stress, loss of interest in usual activities. For girls, if you're used to going out as friends and you see this friend is not actually going out, oh, what's happening, right? Then just take it like today, alcohol is too much. So, but remember, why that picture is very important is like, remember, your mind judges everything, right? This is very important because it's going to come into the next slide, right? Your mind judges everything, even the fact that you just see me like this, right? I don't think any of you thought I'm a practicing structure in there because you saw, his looks, this guy is like that. I always get this so much, right? Especially with Ugandans, I always get it. Unogai chichi, music agamba chi. So, even in the workplace, let me give you this, let me discuss it. I was having a meeting with some government officials, and they were telling me, like, hey, you have locks, how are we going to be able to work with you? I told them, tell me any person who has been in government who has ever stolen money who has locks. Anyone who has ever been corrupt in government who had locks and stole money, who has worked in the government, never say car. Because they couldn't, right? They were, like the people who are stealing all these billions of money that's supposed to be supporting Ugandans have no hair like you. So me, you've never seen anyone like that, you see. So that kind of pre-judging is why this is important. Now, with all that we've shared, right, support is not complicated. You know what we're discussing, everything that we've been discussing, support is not hard. This is a live message I got from one of the girls I've been supporting for some time. And if you read there, she says, hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm writing to thank you for sparing time last year to talk to me through my feelings and grief stuff. It is 1 year later, 2 days ago, I realized that that was great improvement. So thank you very much, and may God continue blessing the work of your hands. What we were discussing here, you can do in your own way to support other people. Through the things we've been discussing, right? Just notice, listen, show empathy. Ask for help like what we've been discussing. Don't assume, like because I'm like this, you just need that. Even with mental health, supporting each other, right? Do whatever, do ask for help and follow up respectively. This is how you save lives. This is how you support yourself. This is how you support any other person out here. Because now you guys are here, whatever you're learning, I'm hoping you're going to be able to put into practice for yourself and for the other people there. So support is not hard. And how do you do that? There's a lean model. This one, you don't need to come and do counseling psychology to really, okay, when you come, you go into the deeper, but this is model, right? What I said earlier, don't judge. The second thing is empathize. Do you know the difference between empathy and sympathy? Yes. What's the difference? Anyone could share with that? What's the understanding of the difference between empathy and sympathy? I had some yeses at the back. Okay, we have three there, hands, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm called Mumza Abraham.
Mumza?
Abraham.
Abraham.
I do education. I'm a teacher trainee in town campus. So, empathy is like putting yourself in someone's shoes. That's how we say. We take a mungato zangi. Then sympathy is feeling pity for someone.
Yeah. Could you give an example of that? A real example from
okay.
Yes.
So empathy, for example, someone is in trouble, and now you're like, then so you is, for example, someone has an issue, and then you feel pity for them. You're like, oh, sorry, I know what you're passing through. What that is sympathy.
Yeah. So would you say that if we're in a queue, right?
Yes.
And I see someone with a physical challenge, they can't move well, and I give them space to come in front of me, is that sympathy or empathy?
That is empathy.
That is empathy.
It's sympathy, sorry.
That is sympathy.
Yeah, it's sympathy.
So how would empathy show in that context?
Oh, then there,
There's no wrong answer. You can leave it open. How would that show?
Yeah, maybe
because
someone
you see,
else
in
can
school
help.
here it's more easy, but when you're going to come to the workplace, it's going to be different. Like Charlotte, right?
Yes, Charlotte. Hello, everyone. I didn't get a chance to actually introduce myself, but I'm Charlotte. And in brief, empathy would be feeling with someone. And then sympathy would be feeling for someone. in an instance that someone has lost their job, being sympathetic, you'd be like, oh, sorry about the job loss. I hope you get another soon. But empathy, you would actually tell this person, I know what you're going through. I've been there. And actually, for starters, I could get you 500,000. Or maybe let's go grab a cup of coffee. So with empathy, you're actually sharing a feeling with someone. Whereas with sympathy, you're just having some compassion for someone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you have something you would add to the question I was asking him when the sympathy when someone is having a physical impairment and they give them space to come in front of them in the line. How would that show up within sympathy and empathy?
Well, I think to a greater extent, it would be empathy because you're actually with this person in whatever they are going through. Yeah, but to a smaller extent, it would as well be sympathy, depending on how this person has, I mean, they have a right to be ahead of me. So to a greater extent, it would be empathy, and to a smaller, sympathy. Thank you.
Okay. So there is the beneficiary shouldn't also be entitled to say, I'm supposed, yeah? Okay. Thank you so much. So the lean model, the second thing is the empathizing, right? Then the third thing is the asking. Don't take anything for granted. Ask, what support do you need, right? In that moment, would you be possible to ask the person, is it fine for me to let you come in front of me on this line to get this support, right? Fourthly is the navigate, help them to connect to helpful services or people. As you see, this goes back to what we're talking about, seeking support, you helping yourself, and then knowing where to support or recommend people to get support. And that testimony happened this year, which is this Form 6 girl. She was going to commit suicide. When she sent me this message, I remember I was so engaged, I had to call her immediately. Because it's not the first time I'm experiencing that. With the work I'm doing, you get people who are really want to end it all and they give you a call and there's no time for texting. So with this model, I put that testimony there just to show you, if you can grow to your level, to your awareness, right? This is why I was starting earlier on with asking these questions, getting us into the discussion, because you need to be aware so that you can actually support people and help them not to end their lives, right? So imagine this was a Form 6 girl, and she wanted to just end it like that. So I used the same principles, and she's alive. I got a message from her 2 days ago. She's in school like that. So this is one of the examples of the things. What I'm showing is like these things you can also do to support other people out there. So of course, like what we've been discussing, what you should say and what you shouldn't say, helpful responses, I'm here to listen. That sounds difficult, you matter, and would you like support? Of course, even the tonality of your voice has to be very appropriate, right? What should I help you, right? The energy, the tonality of how you speak with someone will know like whether you're being genuine or not, right? Then of course, I've had recently the boys, I think this is more of the boys that gumite, right? Guma. I'm seeing this trend about gumite, guma, and all that. How is that helping me to go through these challenges, right? And of course, with the boys, the male, research shows that you want seek support, you keep quiet. And this is why there's so much suicide rates among the men than the women. Because ogamba kangume, gumite, guma, right? Kansidike. So let's find help together. This is, like I said, goes back to tonality. Then harmful responses, you're overreacting, just be strong, vera musajja. Others have it worse, don't tell anyone. I'm curious about, for the girls, this is strictly for the girls, or the females, what harmful responses have you faced or met with maybe your girlfriends and the people you know who, instead of supporting you, they give some crazy reactions or responses and you're like, I would like to hear from you. And for the girls, yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to share quite a small experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, back then, I had in those years, I was a crybaby, I can say, literally. Anything that was so small or too big, depending. To me, it may be, small or big, but I have to cry about it.
Yeah.
So I had girlfriends, gullies, they were girlfriends. So anytime they would see me crying, when I breathe in your car, you overcry about anything without even asking me the magnitude and how it is going to, how it has affected me, or it is impacting my life in any other way. All they would say is breathe in your car, and that's the thing that they took me to the counselor, because I saw friends. opening up to a friend, like, to me, it was kind of, hard because I'm going to be judged. So I had to go to a space where I'm not known. People don't know me. Maybe I'm not going to be judged in that way. That's how I ended up to go to a counselor because, there may be small things that are making me cry, but at a large extent, they're affecting me. Yeah, thank you.
Are
Any
you still with
other?
those friends? Are they still
No, they're no longer my friends.
Yes, Flores. Thank you for sharing that so much. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay.
It's all
Okay. For me, I'm Kaswich Florence. Yeah. For me, my experience with the girls group, sometimes they are like, you don't have time for us. There is those jazzes, and sincerely speaking, I'm ever busy. So, but when we sit, you find we have different categories of girls or friends. Some will criticize you. Some they want to be on a higher level than you. We have levels. Someone puts you on a low level, you are like, hee. So you find it hard sometimes to relate. Either if you step ahead, she will want the girlfriend. Why? Even if it's a relationship matter. You say, my boy has brought for me this dress. Yeah, it's an issue. So relating with girls, if it's not work, busy like a gig, it's hard. I really associate more with boys. Yeah, it's better to me. And I'm okay, not in other circles, but
you're okay, indeed. You're not. You're not. It's not a bad thing because I've had that so much. I usually make friends with boys than girls.
Me, if I'm to share the response I've ever gotten, there are a lot. When sometimes I think about them, even sometimes talking about them, I do cry. But the one response I've ever gotten, and that one came from my dad, where he told me, seated there and there, said, do you know what? Educating you is just a wasting of time. Like, you have no future. That one, when I was still studying, time went on, I finished, then I sat home. When I got a job, I called him, I told him, that would you go with me to pick my appointment later? He was asking, what kind of job are you going? And where? Where you get response and you ask, and however much you want to motivate yourself to be someone, but someone gives you a motivate, still you go back on the drawing board and say, really, can this happen?
Yeah.
So we should be mindful on the response we give to people.
Yes.
Because you might know someone say trying to build herself, and you tell her something, for you can't be this.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Annie. For the boys, let's get one boy. For the males, any experience, any response that you got from maybe your boyfriend, your Charlies, and it put you off? Any experience?
Pardon the question.
When you were going through one of your hard times, right, or good times, and you got a response from one of your people you thought were close, and you couldn't believe that they were saying such a thing to you, what was that experience like? What did they say that actually broke you?
I think I don't know how it was feeling, but to me, from my side, you see, when you're into politics, there are people that you trust most.
Yeah.
And then we had cooked, and we reached to ground. We made all campaigns. When he was my guy, actually, it was a circle like of 4. So out of the blue, I think these people were giving out money. So then, in the evening, I called them. How was the field? They were like, bro, why can't you withdraw from the race?
Why can't you do what?
They're like, you withdraw from the race because, like, they gave me their excuses. I said, but we have cooked for years. Now it is already, we are going into the final stages, and you're saying I withdraw. Why didn't you tell me in the first place? But then I said, okay, I will think about it. When I reached home, I called individually. So they were like, you guys, they met us and they told us this. Then I called another friend.
never revealed anything. It was like, no, we saw that you're going to lose. But I already knew that these people were bold.
Yeah.
So what I did, I said, okay, do you know what we shall do? Let us distance ourselves from this. For me, I cannot sell out my head. If I'm contesting, I'm contesting.
Yeah.
Then when we went into the elections, I lost. Then the funny part, when after losing, they were the same people who came and they were like, oh, sorry, take heart. So it was a challenge to me, but you know, I don't know if these people fear God,
Yeah.
but there are things God do. So out of the blue, this one of them goes back into election, then says, Arthur, come and support me. We reached on ground. This guy had no money. And then he says, can you help me out? Instead of me recalling and say, and maybe I remind him that there is the time you never played the comrade part. I said, let us continue, you never, and I have never revealed anything. But it was such feeling that sometimes what you expect from the people, it's not exactly what you get. You have to push your own race. Thank you.
Ajay, you have something to say? Yes.
I'm not going to dwell so much.
Yeah.
I'll just go with Arthur. What Arthur said. Let's take it in mind that no one is too big for disappointment. If Judas could betray the guy who brought him. So that keeps me going. In case anyone hurts me or anything, I say I'm never too big for disappointment. That is my carry-on story. Yes, you get hurt. Arthur, seriously, that you're so calm. I would have, at that moment, I would have reminded that person a little bit, much as they need help. But at the back of the mind, have this, that no one is too big for a disappointment. Yeah. Anyone can disappoint you at any time. Yeah. And I always tell my twin brother, we shared the womb at the same time. You're just minutes before me. But anything can happen. He says, why do you think negative? So prepare yourself for safe landing. That's my take.
Thank you. Mental steadiness, that's a good one from Angela sharing that. Oh, okay. We have these last two. Yes.
Me, I have a question to ask about emotional support. I don't know whether I should ask it now or maybe I'll have time.
No, you can put it and we can discuss it, yes.
So for me, I actually need help. I don't know whether it seems something small to someone else, but I had a scenario whereby I had a friend of mine whom I treasured so much. But one time, that person's personality was in a way that even if she had maybe a simple sickness, like maybe she has headache, she has stomach ache, when she tells you about it, she had expectations that I actually couldn't do. In a way that maybe if she told you she has headache, she expected you to maybe say, you know what, let me come and check on you, things like that. Then, but me, whenever she could tell me that maybe I am having headache, I would say, oh my God, that is really bad. Have you got some medicine? And I feel like it is, yeah, I feel like that is caring, because to me, in most cases, if I'm not extremely ill, I feel like I shouldn't stress people to go into my situations. Yeah. Then one day, this friend of mine was actually traveling to Fort Portal, and then she got, she sent me a message and she's like, my friend, I survived an accident. And to me, she sent me some pics. They were standing outside, the mirrors had broken, things like that. And I'm like, oh my God, so sorry. That is what I felt like, inside me, I feel like I'm empathetic, because I felt like even if I was the one, it's really bad. Though I didn't go ahead to ask them, have you got anyone's? So I realized that maybe if I was the one sending someone a message that I've got an accident, I would tell them that maybe I got an accident, but I don't have any problem, I am okay. But for that person, just told me that they survived, and I said that. Now, from there, that person meets me. I didn't know that the person was really annoyed. After meeting me, the person is like, you girl, you're not empathetic at all. Like, I don't think this friendship should what? Should continue. Then I was like, why? Me, I didn't feel like maybe I've done anything bad. And the person is like, you know what? You search on Google and see what a friend would do if a friend told them that they have, if a friend told them that they have got an accident. So what I found on Google was telling me that you're supposed to ask, how are you feeling today? The following day you do the same, and personally it's really not part of me. So I am still confused about that, because actually that friend of mine is still annoyed up to now. So I don't know which problem I have. I don't know whether she has the problem. I really want some explanation about that, because it's perturbing my mind.
Your name is, what's that?
Claire.
Claire, have you ever done a personality test? Or do you know your personality?
Yes, I do.
You've done? Yes. Okay, so that will come in the questions, because what you were speaking and I was thinking through from hearing you what I've so far seen you observe, how you handle other people because you're different types, right? How to manage that. I think that's why that comes in, yes. But we'll tap into that at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is Natuyamba Susan.
Who?
Natuyamba Susan.
Natuyamba Susan.
Yes, for me, the experience that I have when I'm engaging with girls, especially, okay, it is very hard to engage with girls with money. Yes, it is very hard. Those rich girls, okay. You find that some girls, okay, they put you like on ground, eh?
One C.
Yes, you are there, but you are on ground. Even if you are a friend,
yeah.
Okay, you try to force yourself to them, but you are on ground. Then, what I remember about that, I think I had a friend of mine here, but she was not here by then, eh? I used to post myself, Manya what, Manya this is this. Then she could say, ah, but Susan, who is you? Is it the... Okay. She could caption, she could comment on my post, and I feel like, oh, maybe I should not post myself ever. Then, but from that, I realized that you as a person, you should stay the way you are as a person. Okay, not considering other people. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's clap for everyone who has shared, because they have shared personal stories, right? I love, and that goes into the role of peers. Why I was asking that. From all that has been shared, right? Look at this, right? Students or any other, we should be able to support each other. But how we do that is totally different, right? Like the things like sharing that we've had here. Someone is being supportive. Me, I've done my work. I've checked in with you, but the person is angry. I don't know how long are you guys at Clash up to now? How long? A month. It's still boiling, right? I checked in with you. Why are you angry at me? So, what does this mean for about the role of peers, right? Include others intentionally. Avoid assumptions. I hope some of these things will come in there. Challenge stigma in conversations, right? Like I said about the tonality when you're speaking and you're checking in. If you're empathetic, right? Sympathetic. How do you speak? How intentional are you? Or you know your friends so much then. Encourage help seeking, create welcoming spaces, and be supportive, not pitting rather. So welcoming spaces are not just about, we have this welcoming space here, but emotionally, what are the emotional spaces you can create that someone can actually share with you, right? Just like when now all of us here have studied. When you go in some spaces, you really want to bring, that's why I don't always do that so much for me. Like the cognitive aspect, like I've studied all this and I know all this, right? So you can also do the same thing emotionally. How emotionally available are you? In trauma-informed schools, there's something that we were taught, and one of the frameworks that I believe in. How do you become an emotionally available adult for another person, right? And that goes back with self-awareness and all that. And that's how you're going to support each other, right? So this all goes into the role of peers. If you listen to the stories like our brother shared, after man, you should resign, right? at the point we've been diehards. At this time, this is when you're telling me that. How do you handle that, right? So the role of peers is very important, and this is why what Honorable was talking about, peer-to-peer support, right? Before you go into there for the counseling, these are things you can actually do. So for peer-to-peer support in a student in a university setting, who are the people who should be playing? Of course, students, lecturers, like some of the things you've been sharing in university leadership. This is something like, like a university master is very intentional about supporting you guys. The counseling services, the disability support officers. I don't know how that, I don't have any yet about this, but I believe maybe the disability supportive services, not just in aspect of school fees and this and that, but even your mental aspect of it, right? Student leaders, like we'll be listening in here from Brittany, yes. Like student leaders, what you're doing in and what Florence was sharing in there, being selfless and coming to interpret sessions by herself. I think that's something very good. Clubs and associations. So each of these groups has something they need to do, right? Because one of the things, the Western model of treatment is that we do things individually, and this is one of the things that has been happening in most universities. The counselor is working alone, so if he's there and you don't come there, you don't what? They don't come in for support. So these are things we're looking in and migrating and connecting, right? So mental health and inclusion go together. So true inclusion includes access without a sense of belonging is insufficient. I know, like from the sharing we had from the introductions, these are things you've all brought out. Merely being physically included is inadequate. This is something that someone had already shared in there. Like, it's not just about putting ramps, putting lifts there, but how do we get everyone in connected and supportive of each other? Students require dignity, connection, and support, like what we've been discussing, and mental well-being enhances academic achievement and engagement, as we've all been sharing and listening in with each other, right? So where can students seek support? Like already have the counseling center, the dean of students. Now these are all avenues, right? The peer-to-peer support, what we've been discussing. So with MindLab, one of the things actually why I'm here, reached out to the administration, where we're looking at now, how do you bring in even teletherapy? Like you're here and you can actually get support with your friend, maybe you're in different hostels and that. So these are all avenues you can actually get support from. So with all that we've discussed, before we get into discussion, I'm wondering, from what you've learned from this session, but even early on, what is one thing that you're going to do different? Like, one thing I'll stop doing is, or one thing that I'll start doing is, or one thing our institution should improve is. From now, what you've learned a bit about this session, psych education, what would be your takeaways, that your commitment that you're going to actually take and you're going to put into practice from here? I would love to get some insights from some of you members. Anyone? This side, let's see about this side. We've had so many people speaking, we say, now this side. Anything? Mr. Chairman, let's start with you. What is one thing? I know you're going through a lot, but yeah. What is the one thing that you would go through, you're going to do differently? You're going to, what is one thing that the institution should do differently? And, or one thing you're going to start doing differently? From all that we've shared here, what would be your takeaway? What would be your thing?
Okay. So once again, I'm Dennis. I'm the president for the Students with Disabilities. Yeah, at MUST. So what I've seen is that in most cases, stigma comes in isolation. But when you meet people and you talk things through, you actually get like more insights about how they're feeling, and you get insights on how you can help them. So what I can maybe do better is to, okay, as the association president for the students with disabilities, like to hold like a lot of meetings, to meet my members more oftenly, and like knowing what is affecting them, how we can walk things through. I think that's my take home.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity once again to say something out. And just like I had introduced myself, I go by Ambrose, and the take home that I could take as per now, me personally, I have friends that were not born disabled, but later they acquired the disability. during a way of living when maybe in the thing that they were doing in life. You know, at times we, the Gen Zs now, just like I may say, we look at some things that could really cause us trouble, but at the end of the day, we undermine them. Then we start regretting when they have happened. But here, in actual sense, someone who saw beyond what you could see told you that, you know what, Ambrose, don't go for that. Because trust me, you may not handle the repercussions for it. You understand? And then at the end of the day, you find that exactly what they told you is the same thing that happened. You get? And then, since then, you start just punishing yourself, hating each and everyone around you. But yet they told you the fact, and then you never listened, you never paid attention to it. And now you're not even able to go through the repercussions that your actions have caused you. And now what the take home that I'm just going with from now is to let them know that yes, we do things and then the outcomes are always expected. But when they just come out of our deeds, that's not the end of life. We still have some other things that we could do regardless of the disability that we might have at the moment. You get? So it's just me trying to, yeah, because they are really my friends more than one. Just because the consequences of their deeds just brought them to be disabled. So, and since then I've hated life. So what exactly I might do? Because I've been trying as a person, but still, yeah. Now the fact that they just refuse to listen to people closer to them. Because now me, I'm this side of Mbarara and they are in Kampala. You get? And now this exactly that I might have gotten from here. That could be an improvement on what exactly I've already been doing. Share the same thing that or maybe with more ingredients, because now I'm going to spice what I've been telling them to tell them yes, life just things happened like that, but still life goes on, because the journey for you to walk as long as you're still alive, so is having highs and lows before you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambrose. And that is something, like I said earlier, as long as you're alive, you're always going to be on the mental spectrum of where it is a crisis and whether you're healthy and whether you're in between, you're moderate and you don't know. Crisis where this is where the suicide cases come in, like I shared a bit earlier. And connecting back to how, like what you're saying, I love the fact, like, this is what I was talking about earlier, about the African approach to mental health. We are very communal, we want to support each other, but there's one thing we always need to know and always keep in our cognition, right? That whatever decision you do or you help those people to do or don't do, there are consequences. And you need to understand and be very, very empathetic to yourself to know that you did your part and then they didn't do that, right? Especially as when you connect so much with your people and or someone and you want them to do the good. I've seen this actually personally also with my young brother. Like I gave the grace and I told him, I simplified it for him. Don't be intelligent, be wise. Be wise, learn from what I've experienced, what you experienced, the people you have and all that. But it goes back that you have to make a decision and action, right? And be ready to face all the consequences of whatever action you do. So I think that's something you need to actually do, like the same thing you actually bring about to your friend, right? You did your part, but then what else can you do? That balance needs to be made, right? So thank you very much for those. As we come into the conclusion, from all that we've shared, one thing I would love you guys to always know and keep at heart is that mental health matters for every student, for every person. It's not about, as long as you're a human being, you're going to need to take care of your mental being. Mental health is new in the sense that it started in 1945, the Second World War. That's when the term started coming in, right? But it has been there before. I'll give an example. I'm in Uganda. In the African Traditional Society, when the Baganda went and had wars, whether with the Banyankole, Banyolo, and all that, when they came back and someone was having illusions, also waking up in the night and screaming, or working in a different way that's not normal, they used to separate them and they keep them in a particular place for some time until they stabilized. And then they brought back into community. Today we call that rehabilitation. So that's why personally for me I'm so invested into the African approach to mental health care. So everything that you're discussing has been there since time immemorial. So it's very important for you to be intentional about it. Disability, inclusion, and mental well-being are interconnected. These are the experiences that we've been sharing and what you've all talked about, right? It's very invested and interconnected. 3, stigma causes harm and silence. Very important, because if you don't speak out, if you don't have support systems that can helpful, you're going to keep quiet, and later on you're going to go into depression, and you may even end your life, or you may go vis-a-vis what you didn't really think you could do. Inclusion is a collective responsibility for all, like the different parties we talked about, the students, the university leadership, the counselors, the partners, and all that. So challenging stigma and fostering inclusion is going to, it enables us here at Master and other institutions where we are coming from. You need to be able to create a truly inclusive environment where every student is respected, supported, and able to seek support without fear. This is why we've been discussing about understanding from the aspect of awareness to where to get support, to who supports you, and also for you to know, right? What kind of support do I need? How do I need to support myself and other people, right? So yes, these are some of the engagements, the partners we've worked with and what we've done. Like I said, we are from the National ICT Hub that is in Nakawa under the Ministry of ICT, but we have a partnership with Mackay University. It's one of the things we do most of our works, but also done works with these schools. And recently with Cavendish and UTAM, Uganda Technology Management Institute, Tech University rather, sorry. So finally, that's it about me. My name is Kawekwa Douglas. That's my contact. And on all socials, MindLife, MINDLYFE, on all socials, but also personally, I'm also, mostly my professional, LinkedIn is what I mostly use, but yeah, I'm all on all socials. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, so that I think the technical team kindly.
We are going to stay with your slides and
Yes.
we'll share with our colleagues from MOOCs and Chambogo.
Definitely. Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a standing ovation.
Thank you. Good man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, this is so great. Thank you so much, and thank you, Michael MC Tendo. Douglas, you've done a lot for us. I'm sure Moobs, Jambogo, Bishop Stewart, and all other people here are going to appreciate this. We are going to ask for your slides. We're going to share them, and we'll appreciate if, whenever called upon, we have a bigger audience, like Helen, Madame Stella, like when we have how do we call it, the annual research dissemination conference. I'm requesting that this is when all the staff, about 300 staff, are in one hall. We get a session on persons with impairment, so that our lecturers, our administrators, the management, everyone is there. If Douglas is given 15 minutes, it won't hurt us in the conference. That is another assignment for you. Please, let's give him another round of applause. In just 1 minute, I request that our colleagues from other institutions give us a takeaway. Give us a message before we close. We are closing. We'll start with Moobs. Any takeaway, anything you want to share? I'm giving you a minute.
And it's again.
Yes.
Here, I think since our today it's about disability inclusion is a collective responsibility for all, I think MOOBs will have taken a stand.
Okay.
Because we have a disability resource learning center, we have a director for disability.
Oh.
In Nakawa, but me I work in MOOBs.
Okay.
And me getting employed, it was because they wanted every branch we must have a person with disability.
Okay.
And my communication, I think I want someone can, I think all of us who are here, they might have a person who will benefit from our scholarship. MOOBs, not as a government, MOOBs as a university, we give 2 scholarships to students with disability every academic year.
Oh,
and
wow.
This one is the beneficial.
Please, let's clap for that. Stella, I'm sending you again. Stella, I'm sending you again. We are benchmarking live. So as our council member, Helen, as a gender person, focal person, please, these ideas need to be tabled to management. Yes, local university.
Thank you, MAST, for this seminar. I want to appreciate you all for participating in this. My take home is that every person here, every administrator, every lecturer they need to appreciate every individual in the institution. Please, where you see a student who is in need, approach them and support them. For example, a student who has a special need and is not able to express themselves, you can reach out to them as a lecturer or as an administrator, and you ask them where they are facing challenges. And that way they will be confiding in you and you will be helping them. Sometimes, like in lectures, you find a student who cannot be able to see properly is the one who is seated at the back. When you are a lecturer or an administrator, you need to approach that student and find out what their challenges are. And you request them maybe to sit in front, or if you have tutorials, you can share them or expand them so that they are able to see them clearly. I submit.
Thank you so much. Yes, Bishop Stewart. Yes, over here.
Thank you very much, MAST, for organizing this, and we are very appreciative. For me, what I can take home is like we should be willing and we should be willing to be helped. Like they always say, when you want a lift, you must go on the road. Here I'm trying to mean that if we already know that we want a need, so you should be ready to address that need in order to be helped. No one will think that you need to be helped when you don't address it, or when you don't come up and address your need. Someone will not think of what you need, or will not think about in which case he or she should help you. But when you come up and address it, then people will be aware of your what? Of your need. I pray to submit.
Thank you so much. Any other institution we've left out? Yes. Yeah, we're going to have our minister conclude for us, but there's a burning point here that cannot go unattended to.
Yes, for me, I am saying this because I know that people are watching us, so I want them to also hear it. For me, my take home is, from today, I am going to start treating people who are challenged with love, care, and empathy. Yeah, because you realize that these people are in our circles. So, if they are your friends, maybe in class, you need to show them love, care, so that they can also move around with dignity and know they are part of us. The second one is to advocate for them. How? You realize that a lecturer is going to be in class. That lecturer does not know that maybe this student cannot see well. But for you as a person that interacts with that person at a personal level, you can help them maybe talk to the lecturer or any other person. So I pledge that I am going to start advocating for people that are challenged, and ask also our friends outside there to do the same. The last one is I also learned that we are supposed to give our friends uninterrupted space before judging them, for them to share their problems, instead of assuming that maybe this person is doing this because of this. Give them uninterrupted space and then they explain what they are going through. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, another burning one. Honorable, come and stand here and I'll give you 1 minute to conclude. I'd request my ushers to take me 6 chairs outside for the group photo, and then As we're finishing up, we want to call it a day. I will give the closing remarks, the burning one.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Me, what I can say over what I have taken home is we should not let these people feel isolated. We should give them comfort. We should be with them. Like they said, friendship, we should make them our friends and be their places of comfort if at all they need. Let's not feel them isolated. Simanyi, this one doesn't know this, you help. Mental health, you help. If it needs in every help, we should be in need of them. Thank you.
Thank you. And what I can pick from her is, let's be the eyes and ears for the Dean of Students. They cannot reach everywhere. Yes? We have guild representatives. We have ministers. Even you as an individual. Look out for, I don't know how many calls I get, people telling me, there's this other student who is going through this. They don't know what to do. I'm like, what is their number? I don't have the time. Can I talk to the person on phone? But there's what they call a human face. So a human face, the way I talk to you on phone is not the way I talk to you physically. Make time. I don't know how many times I've left campus as late as 10 because I'm trying to counsel someone. And a disability, I'm talking about this, we're talking about disability, but I'm also bringing in what they call special needs. We have just saved a student from who was going to commit suicide. She's pregnant, she's having triplets, she's having exams. All of you are holding your heads, and the parents don't want to know. She doesn't know what to do next. But a few people have come together. She has managed to identify who can support her. She has now accepted to keep the pregnancy. Whenever, even if you see the stomach, we've already prepared her for the comments that are going to come out. She's going to get special exams. She's going to do all this. She's going to have her babies, and you'll all want to babysit. You'll want to come for the baby shower, and then you're the ones going to, So look at the fruit of something, but try to make someone feel better than the way they came to you. Honorable Minister, please conclude for us as a university.
Thank you so much, our PRO. And once again, I'd love to give a vote of thanks to our guest speaker, that is Mr. Douglas Kawekwa. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll start with my own take home. Yeah, there is earlier in your presentation, you talked about the lean model. And yeah, this is something that all of us should consider. We have to listen to these people, listen to us, get to know what do you actually need, give us that space to tell you, and then empathize. Yeah, we're not asking you to have sympathy, we're not asking you to feel pity, but empathize, get into our shoes, see, try to experience it the way we experience it. Taking those stairs in a 4-story building, or maybe in this, and then without, say, lift, without the, how would you feel navigating that challenge? And so it helps you to think better, to design better. And then getting the experiences from all of us, from how we navigate these things. And then the last thing is to navigating the challenges together. For example, in design thinking, you iterate, you try one method, you iterate again, you see how better can we solve this, but working as a team. There is this thing, I said it some time back, that when you're designing something, and then you design for someone when they are not when they're not in the room, you're really not designing for them. They have to be included, they have to be part of the room. And so once again, thank you so much for that. And trust me, for most of what you've shared, we are grateful that you're already having most of these things in place at Mbarara University. Madam Angie, I don't know if you were notified, but last semester we launched the Mbarara University Mental Health Club.
Yes, I attended the run.
Yeah.
But it was not fun.
Yeah, we launched last semester. And so we have sessions, we have students who have been helped a lot. On-site experiences right now, but there are students who almost dropped out. There's a particular experience of a student who got into, I think he lost his tuition, and then he almost took his life. He went into drugs, but now he's very okay. He's progressing normally. So we are having all these avenues already in place. We have the disability unit under the Dean of Students office, and we are having good progress. This semester we launched the Hands That Speak Club. Yesterday we had a session where our new DVC Academic Affairs also attended as the chief guest. We were having a spelling bee in sign language, and wow, it was impressive. Yes, show of hands for people that were there during the signing. Yeah, thank you. So we're really having good progress in all these areas. Now this Hands That Speak Club is a child of the sign language program that we are doing at the university, currently in the 4th cohort. Yeah, this is a program we started around 2 years ago. We had 43 graduates in the first cohort, 53 in the second cohort. Last November, we graduated 57 students and staff and the community around the university. And even this semester, we're running a cohort currently with 60 students doing this. And so these are all things that we are doing as a university, and we are progressing really. With time, perhaps we shall even have more stories to tell, more experiences, more joy, and more celebration to have. Others, once again, I would love to thank you all. Thank you all for showing up today, for the deliberations, for the ideas, and I believe all these things are not remaining on paper, but where they are, maybe where we're not doing better, we are going to improve. And also, I believe this is a benchmarking platform, even to the other institutions and to ourselves. There are areas of growth and there are areas of improvement, really. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the students, he has said it all. Allow me to invite the gender focal person, Madam Helena Kello, to come and conclude on behalf of the university. And I don't want to stand between you and lunch. So we're going to have a group photo, then we come back for lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, as she's coming, allow me to also acknowledge Madam Stella. Thank you for always being at the forefront of this and also multitasking. Madam Stella is a motivation to us in the sense that she will organize, like Maureen said, she's unstoppable. You can't stop her. So we appreciate you, and at this moment, we are giving you the flowers in capital letters. Let's give her her flowers. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, our PRO, to all our visitors from the different institutions, mostly our guest speaker, Mr. Douglas. We thank you so much for those inspiring words. We thank you all who have contributed. Everyone here, you've done well. We hope that this engagement has touched each one of us. On behalf of the Dean of Students Office and on behalf of Mbarara University of Science and Technology, we want to appreciate you for taking off your time, for bringing in your different views. And we know that from here we are going to really develop more ideas, to come up and support our colleagues with the different kinds of impairments. Who knows? Today you may be standing here, very fine, but tomorrow we hear something else. God forbid. On top of that, I want to thank you, Brian. Brian is very active in training students and other members of Mbarara community in the sign language. And I know slowly by slowly, we are going to very soon have it as a course unit. I know it's possible. To all our students, for the coordinators, Madam Stella, for organizing this, all contributions, we really thank you. Our PRO, we thank you. She traveled all through the night to come and be with us. We can't take that for granted. So we thank you, and we pray that as you all journey back to your respective destinations, may you go well. Thank you, and thank you again.
Okay, thank you once again. Let's rise and have a closing prayer. That's the confidence I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for someone to say, let's pray.
Almighty Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this seminar. We thank you for all the people that have come to attend this seminar. We thank you for all the interactions we have had, the good, kind words, the empathetic words. Enable us to treat people sympathetically and enable us to be a safe place for others. In Jesus' mighty name I've prayed. Amen.
So let's first go for a group photo.